was intimidated to try embroidery for decades. One of the things that stopped me was the fire hose of information out there. Do I really have to risk drowning in the deluge in order to feel like I can properly get started embroidering? The answer is no. And if you turn off this video now because that was all the permission you needed to give it a try, then great. But before you go, I actually have a couple of embroidery tips if you're struggling to get started like I was. Number one, whatever is stopping you from starting, let it go for now. If you're experiencing choice paralysis, please know that all you really need to start is a needle, a thread, and fabric. You can invest in other materials, and you probably will, but starting with the bare bones basics of the craft really helped me overcome the creative freeze. For example, despite the many different sizes and shapes of embroidery hoops that exist, I spent the first few months of my embroidery journey stretching scrap fabric out in one hand and backstitching with the other. Now that I've had practice touching the materials and touching thread, I can make more confident choices. At this point, you'd be hard-pressed to see me stitching a piece without some kind of hoop or frame. On the other hand, if the thing stopping you from starting is not knowing what to do with your hands, I have great news for you on that front as well. Whatever question you have, there is a video on this very platform that'll answer it. And after that, it really is all about finding the method that works for you and for your hands and practicing it until you're comfortable. Number two, start with the backstitch. You know, I really could have said number two, start with the basics, but I like backstitch so much that I'm saying specifically start with the backstitch. There are a lot of stitching techniques out there and each one is neat in its own way. But if the number of needle maneuvers feels intimidating, just start with the backstitch. It is basic, but also foundational. I will sing its praises forever. Once you feel confident doing that stitch, you can execute solid, beautiful designs without learning any other techniques. But by that point, you'll probably want to learn more anyway. Number three, the best lessons come from experience, which comes from trying. I learned that heat erase pens are great, unless they're not. Using those Frixion type pens let me make some really cool doodles in the beginning. The freedom to sketch directly on fabric so smoothly with gel pen let my brain play in fun and familiar ways that helped me stay engaged with the craft even when I got frustrated with my fingers fumbling the moves. But remember that erasable ink may come back over time, or with temperature or chemical changes in the air. But those are the kind of lessons that come with experience. At the end of the day, it all comes back to the first tip. If there's something getting in the way of getting started, try letting it go for now. And once you figure out how your hands and your brain like to engage with the materials, you'll better understand the questions you need to ask next time in order to get results closer to what you were looking for.